Hello, hello. Welcome to my yap video. I'll just yap about anything. I'm gonna put some gameplay and we'll see how it works. So, my train of thought today and yesterday, actually this week, was about simplicity in games. Now, what games, Burb? Like, what genre are we speaking of? So, we're speaking about two genres today, shmups and fighting games. So I don't really know all that fighting game design, shmup design jargon, and I don't care. But I'll try my best to articulate everything into like this video. So let's talk about fighting games first, right? And so fighting games. So we've seen to like recently the decline of 2XKO, 10 years in development, um, forever in closed beta or early access, 12 characters on launch, and half of the team has been laid off. And what's the reason, to be exact, is most people say marketing, but I don't believe it's marketing. That shit, I saw that, like, I saw ads on the game, like on YouTube. So, it can't be that. They really did like, they marketed it, but in my opinion, I think the issue is in the game, specifically in the control schemes, right? So, in 2XKO, from what I remember, please correct me if I'm wrong. So there's a pulse combo, which is like the what is it called, like the auto combo. They call it pulse combo or whatever. You can turn that off. It's nice. I like that. I turned it off. You know me. I don't like shortcuts. Auto combos are stupid. And then the game has it's a tag team game. Okay, you choose two characters. You got like a light, medium, heavy, and tag button. Now, 4 buttons, that would have been fine. That would have been perfect. But they didn't really plan to put motion inputs. So they added 2 buttons, special 1 and special 2, right? And now, at this point, you think that this game would only work on pad, and that's the problem, right? For one, the fact that, like, okay, I can play it. I've played it on stick, by the way, and it works, but it's so unintuitive, right? How do I describe it? You press multitudes of buttons. You reach, like, your fingers reach from like light or medium to special button 1 and special button 2. And it's so bad, I think. Like, one YouTuber I watch, Clayton Chapman, he, credits to him, he like said that playing this game feels like I'm playing Stepmania DDR bullshit. Which is a nice comparison, honestly. And if you think about it, like, fighting games like is pressing a sequence of buttons, but it's not really that. Like, it's so each button in 2XKO does something different. And it's not in the way that like Street Fighter, for example, does it. Okay? So Street Fighter's like it has 6 buttons, right? And it's like the 2XKO has 6 buttons. Basically, you have to bind 6 buttons to play the game functionally, right? But Street Fighter these 6 buttons are all like connected, right? How do I like, no, 3 buttons, it's like a group of buttons, like there are 2 groups of buttons. That's how I see it. Like, this is my perspective. It's like punches and kicks, right? So you could just condense Street Fighter to a 2 button game. Yeah, I sound crazy saying that, but hear me out. I am gonna be like, okay, so I'm on the arcade machine. I just saw Street Fighter for the first time. Like, wow, that's so cool. Let me play this game. It's called Street Fighter 2, and I'm playing it, and it has 6 buttons, and it's too complex. I was like, wow, 6 buttons. They all do things differently, right? And then you just try it, and you press jab, and it's jab, punch. Okay, this is a punch. Right, you press the button next to it. This is a what do you call it? A strong, yeah, strong. And you press a strong, which is medium punch, by the way. It's like, huh, he's punching, but harder. You can hear the game, right? The sound effect is gonna be thicker and thicker, like it's much more low pitched. And then when you press the button next to it, which is fierce, you hear like the lowest pitch. It's like the strongest one. This is fierce. This is the heavy punch. And you're like, okay. Top row is punches. Bottom row is what? Touches, like kicks. Short, forward, roundhouse. And it's as simple as that. Right? It's pretty weird. Like, what do you call it? Like, okay, so you tap the button. Sorry, I was distracted by my second monitor because I saw like a Discord message. Okay, so you're like, okay, so this is like, they're all the same buttons. The top row is all the same buttons. Bottom row is all the same buttons. So they all do the same thing, basically. Understand? Functionally. Like, top row is punches. Like, the more, like, the far right buttons are, like, in strength. Far left, weaker. And then kicks is the bottom row. And then you're like, yeah, so there are, like, these motion inputs or whatever. They're trying to like skedaddle with the motion inputs, and you try stuff, and you do a quarter circle. You learn how to do a quarter circle. Try quarter circle punch. Do a Hadoken. Like, what does the next button do? You try a medium punch Hadoken or strong Hadoken. It's like, this Hadoken wasn't different, right? Then you try the stronger Hadoken, which is the heavy punch Hadoken, and it's noticeably fast. Like, wow. So, in order of strength, the Hadoken becomes faster. Right. Let me try other special buttons. So I try, Tatsumaki, and you see the order of buttons, like Tatsumaki short. It's pretty short in duration. Tatsumaki forward is like much longer, and so on and so forth. Then you got Shoryuken. Shoryuken is like, depending on the strength, it travels further upwards. It's as simple as that, right? And then you got a game like BlazBlue, right? BlazBlue is one of my favorite games. BlazBlue Central Fiction. And it has 4 buttons. Only has 4 buttons, okay? You got ABC, which is in this order of strength, ABC, okay? But it's different. It still uses motion inputs. But, for example, if you play Jin Kisaragi, you do a quarter circle forward A does a projectile. If you do quarter circle forward B, does nothing. Just does a normal. Okay? And you assign special moves to those three buttons, and then you got the drive button, which is like the D button, and the D button is like the character's gimmick or like the unique thing. Okay, and the fact that it's only four buttons is that you only really require like to move your fingers in this section of the arcade stick. Those four buttons. You don't really need to move your button to anywhere else unless you have a macro button. It's like functionally, this is where you play. This is your play area. Whether you do special moves, whether you do normals, whether you change your normals, whether you're want a DP or whatever. It's like anything there, and that's neat. It's pretty simple. Motion inputs have become much more lenient as time goes on. So I don't really get this simplicity goal with 2xKO by adding two special buttons. Now you have just overcomplicated it. Functionally, I have to play the game with 6 buttons. Functionally, each button does something different. And functionally, this game is complex as fuck. You've just like alienated a portion of the fighting game community. What command like special simple baby inputs? Why? And I'm not against simple inputs, you know? I'm not against them. I'm not against baby inputs. You know what else is a game like that is pretty cool? Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, because this game has one special button. Okay? Why? Because it's built around it. It was planned. And you don't really need to use that special button. Guess what? The game has motion inputs. You can either do motion inputs or you can either do simple buttons. And it's just... that's it. That's all you need. Grand Blue, if you play it, it has a light, medium, heavy. And then U is unique. Then you got... you can block by pressing back, but there is a block button and a skill button. Now you'd say, well, Burb, functionally, this game has 6 different buttons. I'd say that it feels pretty comfortable because when I'm doing combos, I don't really need to move my buttons to the skill button. Skill button is designed for 2 things. One, for pad players that cannot do motion inputs or casuals, or 2, it's designed so that you can have a faster shortcut to Dragon Punch or to do a TK. And it's pretty like, it's not really that bad to do a TK. And for those who don't know what a TK is, TK is a tiger knee motion, which is in which you do a quarter circle and before jumping, and then you once you jump, you press the button that you want to do the special with, and the TK happens. But that's it. Like that's how it's the TK is like one case, which is one of my mains, Narmaya. That's the only case I use a TK motion. Like I use the skill button to bypass the TK motion. And it's not like skill buttons are like OP and you have to use them and it's like better to use them. No. If I remember correctly, motion inputs do more damage. Motion inputs have less cooldown. And in Grand Blue, if you use an EX move, there is a cooldown on your special move. You can't use it until the cooldown is is done. So there's that. Okay. And it's that like simplicity of the game, the arcade controls. It's like, okay, so big lever, 4 big buttons or 6 big buttons. That's it. And it's like intuitive. And I can use this lever in conjunction with the buttons so I can do a motion input, and it's comfortable. Like, you don't really have to move your fingers too much. Into XK, I'm pressing light, medium, heavy, special to special, 1 down special. It's just, you lost me. You lost me. I'll give it credit. I really like how Darius plays in that game. That's it. But other than that, you are not catching me in that game until I see Riven. That is all. Like, if I don't see Riven, I'm not playing your Chinese spyware. Sorry. And let me think. Fighting games. Yeah, I just like recently played Super Turbo with a friend. Super Turbo and VSAV, and man, love those games. Pretty simple, but deep. One of my favorite games, fighting games of all time. Top 5, easily. Especially VSAV. Vampire Saviors is one of a kind. I hope Capcom never ever makes a sequel, because if they do, current Capcom is gonna ruin it, in my opinion. So yeah. So on to the other topic. It's let's talk about controls again, but shmups. Okay? Shmups. When you play the game, it's pretty simple, straightforward, and it's like, okay, so auto-scrolling, you move around 8 directions, either vertical or horizontal, right? That's pretty cool. And then there's a button for shooting, maybe there's a button for bomb, and that's it, okay? You can have 2 buttons, you can have 3 buttons. Some games do it really well. It's like, you don't really need a ton of buttons on your arcade stick to play some games. It's like, so, for example, Gigawing, the game has what? It has your shoot, and then it has a bomb button. And the shoot button acts as 2 buttons. Like, you can map an auto fire, it's fine, but the fact that it only requires 2 buttons to play functionally, that's rad. And Gigawing, if you hold the button, remember holding the button is gonna activate the reflector, which is the gimmick of the game. And the fact that you can fit 2 functions in a button, like tapping the button, okay, it's firing, you're shooting, and then you press hold the button and it's used doing something else. It's pretty neat, don't you think? It's pretty simple and neat. Now, this has been like a thing with cave games, where it's like, okay, so you're playing the Donpachi, right? And you tap the button, you're firing your spread shot. You hold the button, and you're firing your laser, right? And by firing your laser, you slow down. Functionally, you need both. And then you got the bomb button, but who cares? Nobody bombs, only punks bomb. And most of the time, the game inside its dip switches has a C button, which is the 3rd button. C button, full auto. You have that, you can bind it. If your arcade machine has the 3 buttons, you can press, you can have your 3rd button as the auto button, and that's how people play, right? And the fact that like you can have 3 buttons, you can play the game functionally. Same with like the later games, Ketsui, Mushihime-sama, oh my god. You can play, like, functionally, yeah, you can play Mushihime-sama like with 2 buttons, but you need like 3 buttons, and if you're try hard, you gotta have 4 buttons, and then if you're like scoring try hard, you need 5-6 buttons because of auto fire rate and such and such. But what I want to get into is that this change of focus on focus, where like you change between shot and laser, okay? And there, it's always, I've seen this complaint always with Toho players. They say that, oh, there's a big delay between changing between shot and laser, and they think it's bad. Well, let me tell you, by design, I think this is intended. The delay is intended. Here. The game, by design, is an arcade game. It doesn't want you to change between laser and shots rapidly. Like, you use your shot, cool. You change to laser, okay, that's a commitment. And then you change back to shot, that's another commitment. So the delay between them is natural to me. Maybe it's because like most of the time Toho players, like I've seen some people complain about this. Toho players play on keyboard, and their games, the Toho project, when you are moving with your arrow keys and like it's, and you're shooting, and then you can hold shift to slow down. Notice how holding shift only slows down, doesn't switch to laser, right? And you can let go of shift really fast. It's like pretty smooth. Like there's no delay between the transitioning between focus and non-focus. And because of that, I'd say Toho has spawned some pretty broken strats, I'd say. For example, Toho 14 has 2 shots where you can tap shift pretty quickly or rhythmically, and you deal tons of damage, and that breaks the game. Now imagine if Dodonpachi is like that, but instead of in a survival context or damaging context, let's put this in a context of chaining and scoring, right? Imagine if your laser instantly shoots out when you hold the button. Okay? Let's say it has the Toho control scheme. There's a slowdown and there's a shot spread shot. Okay? Now I'm gonna hold shot, then I'm gonna keep spamming the slowdown button, and the laser. If you know how the score works, the laser keeps stalling the chain. It keeps stalling the chain gauge. It sounds unrealistic, but I can see someone doing that if the control scheme like turns out to be that, like they change the control scheme to that. And second is the game, the Dodonpachi or any cave game, they don't want you to be stalling or timing out. Remember, it's an arcade game. Someone behind you is waiting to get on that arcade machine. And, cave are like, okay, we don't want them to stall. Don't want anybody to, like, just keep dodging the pattern without like shooting and have the ability to slow down. So you are forced to shoot if you want to dodge slower. You are forced to progress through the game when against the boss, right? Even if the player knows what he's doing and knows how to dodge, even when without the slowdown from lasering. It's pretty risky, right? There's an example with White Label where you time out stage 4 boss for a few more hits, which is funny. But It's a pretty specific situation. There are other specific situations where you want to stall, but it's not really that big of a deal, I'd say, because those are like those are like scoring stuff, like scoring meta. But in a context of survival, they don't want you to be stalling your credit. As simple as that. Now, in modern games, like modern shmups, you see Toho, you go to the settings, there's like this shot slowdown, like shot and focus bind, where it's like, oh, you want to play an arcade layout? Sure, there it is. It's all yours. You can just try it if you want. But of course, it's more disadvantageous, unless you're like arcade hardcore. Same thing with another game called Like Dreamer or Cosmo Dreamer. They have the arcade layout for those who want to play in arcade layout, where you shoot, the shot button focuses if you hold it, and you got an auto button, right? So, and then there's the case of Blue Revolver. The original Blue Revolver actually had a slight delay between changing between focused and unfocused. Yeah, and double action. The developer thought, you know, this is whack, and removed the delay, and that's fine. The shot delay only affects you during bosses, and because like most of the time, and I'm saying this as the best double action player ever, most of the time, you don't really need to focus shot in the stages. But during boss fights, now that there's no delay, there's actually like no point really in like shooting unfocused, by the way. There's no difference like between switching focused and unfocused. Focused just does more damage, and unfocused doesn't do more damage. That's it. And there's also no point in timing out in the context of Blue Revolver. Nothing is gonna happen. You cannot tick point milk. You cannot milk stuff, pretty much. And there's no timeout for the patterns. The developer knows that timing, like stalling the pattern, is a pointless endeavor, and you are kind of like forced to shoot too. Like there's this mentality, the arcade mentality, where like, oh, you want to dodge, you have to dodge fast, like while you're moving fast, and this comes full circle where there's a pattern that actually times out. And it's a pattern where if you time it out, you get a 3 million points bonus. And it's a pretty hard pattern on high rank. And you have to basically dodge it without damaging the boss too much. If you don't time it out, you're not going to get the 3 million bonus. So, when you're dodging, you have to dodge unfocused. That's part of the challenge. That's part of the difficulty. That's part of the risk versus reward. All in all, this arcade focus shot thing is like, you know, Ketsui having the lock on. Oh, yeah. Let's get into Ketsui and Mushi Futari. Mushi Futari. Two of the modes have a score system where you're constantly switching between shot and spread. Okay? And there is a reason why Mushi Futari has a delay in between. It's because the score system depends on you switching between shot and spread. And if you're like switching rapidly, like, bruh, what? Do you get what I'm saying? Like the score system is like the counter is green, kill the enemy on focused, and you're gonna get bigger gems. The counter is blue, shoot the enemy focused, and yada yada. You know, you get the on get the big gems when you shoot it focused. And basically, the reason why the character stops shooting for a while, there's a short delay, is because they want you to commit to this shot, like the either you're focused or unfocused. They want you to commit to the laser or to the shot. In the Kitsui, so there's this. Basically, I think I'm not sure. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but empty locking was known, intended as a mechanic by the developers, but they didn't really expect it to be used on Zakos, and it's like very execution heavy. And doing it on the Zakos is like very, very like hard because of the delay. If there was no delay, God, imagine. It's like maybe it would be just so easy. Just press two buttons, mash two buttons for the fucking empty lock or something. I don't know how empty lock honestly, like, I don't know how empty locking works. It's pretty hard. It's gone over my head many times. Squid dude, I'm sorry. Like you explained it too many times to me. It's like I don't know, man. It's like so basically just shoot your spread, and then before the enemy explodes, you want to hold the lock button, and you're gonna get more chips as if you killed it unfocused or something. I don't know. It's weird, but there is a delay between using your spread shot and using your lock-on shot. It's because the lock-on shot is pretty powerful. Unless you're far away and bottom hunting, you have to be aggressive. So you gotta, like, okay, you're spread shotting, okay, you get the 5 chip, and then you switch to lock-on, and it's like, that's a commitment. You want to kill all of those enemies right now. There is no reason, like there's no reason for there to be no delay. Because if there was no delay, this game would be so much easier to score. So yeah, basically, I feel like I'm missing a point there. Because I had a few more points about this. Basically, it's by design. Like, there's no point in complaining about, oh, there's a delay between the shots. And yeah, because it's an arcade game, duh. What did he like? Imagine if Kitsui, like, you can instantly change between focused and unfocused, changing between shot and lock on. Like, there is a commitment to it. It's by design. That's how Cave designed it. So yeah, basically, in most arcade games, Shmups, you only need 3 buttons for it to play functionally, and then the autofire is just an extra. There are games like Blue Revolver that requires 4 buttons, or like what do you call it, Esgaluda needs 4 buttons. 4 buttons is fine, honestly, like as long as it functions. And then you got like what is it called, Hellsinker. God, that's so many buttons. It's too much. Maybe I should, like, I'm trying to get into it. By no means is it a bad game. It's just, like, so convoluted. So I have to, like understand what's happening here and there. So yeah. I've been planning for a video about counter stops, but I didn't really come around it. I'll see, maybe I'm gonna have to script it, because counter stops are so fascinating to me. Especially, like, there are many cases where counter stops is either a good thing or a very bad thing. But until next time, of course, I'm gonna see you later. Hope you take care, and hope you enjoyed this video. See ya.